Hi, I'm Jenna, owner of the Yogi Nest. We offer alternative and holistic healing through mindful movement and mindset coaching in Los Angeles and online. This is part 3 of the 4-part trauma series I created that inspires healing through Earth's natural elements. In part 3 of the Healing Trauma Through Natural Elements series, we'll be focusing on water as a healing element. If you have not completed part 1 and 2 of this series, where we focused on air and fire as healing elements, I would highly suggest starting there first, as these meditations connect to one another in order. These meditations will utilize visualization and will also provide some sound healing. I hope these meditations have been helpful for you so far. I know from personal experience that trauma healing can be very triggering. I would suggest moving at your own pace through this series. You may even want to work through a single element multiple times before moving on to the next one. For example, if air feels incredibly healing for you, and you feel it's helping you safely move through blocked feelings, focus on air for a while before moving on to fire. You can repeat these meditations as many times as you'd like. Think about it like watching a movie. Every time you watch the same movie, you see and pick up on new things you didn't notice before. Meditation is like that too. New feelings and emotions will come up every time you meditate. Allow these feelings and emotions to come up and flow freely. This is your body's way of releasing trauma and navigating painful feelings and emotions that have been suppressed. If at any point during this meditation you find your feelings and emotions have become too much to handle, try to bring yourself back to your breath, focusing on your inhales and exhales. Maybe even place your palms face down on your belly and feel the rise and fall below your hands. It can be helpful to remind yourself that you're in a safe space, and these meditations aren't asking anything of you other than for you to be yourself and to meet yourself wherever you are today. If you need to pause or stop the meditation and come back to it, that's fine too. It can be helpful to journal about your experience when you've completed or ended the meditation. Writing about your experience and what came up for you both physically and mentally can be incredibly healing. Lastly, be kind, gentle, and patient with yourself. The healing journey is long and it's hard, but from personal experience, I can tell you it's worth it. So find a comfortable place to sit or lie down and let's get started. Once you've found a comfortable place to sit or lie down with little to no distractions, I'd like you to take a moment to observe your surroundings. Take a moment to look around. If at any time during this meditation you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, come back to your surroundings to get centered and recollect yourself. Now take some time to listen to the sounds around you. Once you feel safe and familiar with the space around you, close your eyes. You can always come back to these familiar comforts if you find yourself becoming stressed, anxious, or triggered. If it doesn't feel safe to close your eyes, gently turn your gaze down towards the tip of your nose. Now shift your focus to your breath. Place your hands, palms down, on your belly and feel the rise and fall as you inhale and exhale. Notice if the breath is short and shallow, and if it's coming from just your lower belly or just in the upper chest. See if you can slow your breath down. Long inhales and exhales through your nose, filling the whole space between your belly button and collarbones. Having control of your breath like this can help you feel more calm, relaxed, and at ease, which can come in handy during meditations that trigger strong emotions. You can always come back to your breath to help recenter and collect yourself. Now take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Do this a few more times, continuing to fill the entire space between your belly button and collarbones on your inhale, and emptying out all the air between your collarbones and belly button on your exhale. Now come back to normal breathing, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Allow your body to fully relax. Notice if there's anywhere in the body that feels tense, tight, painful, or uncomfortable. Take your full attention to those places in the body and ask them to let go, relax, and release. It's important that you're physically comfortable so you can fully focus on the meditation without distractions. Allow your face and jaw to soften. Just as we've done in the last 2 meditations in this series, you'll begin by taking a moment to recall the trauma that brought you to this meditation. Remember to breathe if difficult feelings and emotions start to come up for you. If you feel scared and your eyes are closed, You may also briefly open them to refamiliarize yourself with your surroundings. Once you feel calm and collected, you may close your eyes again or refocus your gaze on the tip of your nose if keeping the eyes open. You may stop and start this meditation as many times as you need to in order to feel safe. In part 1 of this series, we channeled air as a healing element. This was the floating stage, the stage of healing where we're just trying to come to terms with what we've been through. In part 2, we channeled fire. This was the stage of healing where we were free to feel rage and anger about what we'd been through, but also to notice this stage of healing as a clearing and cleansing for new growth and transformation. In stage 3, we'll be channeling water. At the end of part 2, the fire stage of healing, I asked you to place your trauma down among the burnt landscape, somewhere that it would be safe until we came back for it later. Bring yourself back to this place now. Find your trauma and gently scoop it up into your hands. Notice that this place looks slightly different than it did when you left it last. Growth has begun. New, beautiful life is now growing before you. Where there was once destruction, chaos, and danger, there are now seedlings that have begun to sprout and grow. You walk right into the center of the previously burnt landscape to find an explosion of thousands of flowers. It's that super bloom we talked about in part 2. This land is flourishing and thriving. What does it look like? What colors do you see? What does it smell like? Even further into the distance, you see something glimmering. It's caught your attention and you begin to walk through the super bloom towards it. It's a body of water. You don't remember this being here before, but then again, nothing is as it was before. It is here that you move on to the next stage of healing. Place just your feet in the water. Notice that it's warm, like bath water. It's so comforting, peaceful, calm, and clear. I want you to take a moment to think about water. It's such an incredibly important element. Without water, life as we know it would not exist. And life exists wherever there is water. Take a few more steps into the water until it's just above your knees. and place your trauma somewhere safe so it will not be washed away when we eventually move further into the water. If it feels safest being held between your hands, that's fine too. You yourself are made up of approximately 60% water. The earth is covered with approximately 71% water, and you started your life in mostly water. Amniotic fluid serves not only as a cushion for a growing baby, but also facilitates the exchange of nutrients, water, and biochemical products between mother and baby. It's very important for the development of human life. This is how we began our lives. Isn't that wild? As you continue to take further steps into the water, I want you to think about this. I want you to revert, just for now, back to when you were a baby, protected by the womb that gave you life. This body of water is now serving as your protective womb. The water stage of this series is all about mending and rebuilding. This is the part of your journey where you go fully inside of yourself to provide love and protection. This is the part of your journey where you might feel comfortable consulting a therapist or support group for further guidance and comfort. This is the part of your journey where you put yourself first. Nothing else matters but the care that you need to heal and move forward with your life. I'd like for you to fully submerge yourself into this body of water now. Don't worry, you can breathe freely and safely here. Look around you. Up, down, left, and right. What do you see? As you swim around in this warm, calm, clear, safe water, what do you encounter? What does the water feel like on your skin? Can you see the sunlight bouncing off the surface of the water into the aquatic world below? Is it illuminating anything interesting? Would you like to investigate it further? What thoughts and feelings are coming up for you now? Can you hear anything? Can you taste anything? What 3 words come up for you, without putting too much thought into it, to describe how this experience feels? You may say them silently or out loud. spend a little bit more time exploring this healing womb of comfort and protection. In a second, we're going to begin making our way back to the surface. But as you do this, I want you to visualize yourself coming out of this healing aquatic world as fully cleansed. This phase of your healing journey was imperative to the development of the person you'll become on the other side of your traumatic experience. It was the development of your new life, the new knowledge that you've gained about the pure strength you hold within you. You are a warrior. You are a survivor. Start to slowly make your way to the surface. And walk out of the water and back into your super bloom. Take a deep breath here, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Now come back to normal breathing, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Take a look around and find somewhere safe to gently place your trauma, for it is here that it will start the next phase of its healing process. We'll meet it here in the fourth and final part of this series. Now bring yourself back to your body and your breath. To close this meditation, I'd like you to quickly scan your body from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. Take note of any physical sensations that come up for you. Does your physical body feel different now than it did when we began this meditation? Now take a moment to check in with your thoughts and feelings. Do you feel mentally different now than you did at the beginning of this meditation? I'd like you to take a few deep breaths before we open our eyes, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Inhale new beginnings as you exhale fear of the past. Inhale hope as you exhale hopelessness. Inhale a new version of yourself that has found a way to cope and process feelings in a healthy way, as you exhale unhealthy coping methods that are no longer serving you. Now come back to normal breathing, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. You're amazing. You're strong. You're worthy. You matter. Your story matters. And the world needs your knowledge. You have lived through difficult times and know from personal experience what rock bottom feels like. But now you also know what it feels like to do the hard work it takes to heal, thrive, and flourish. You have a unique opportunity to turn your painful experiences into a powerful support system for those around you who have been hurt too. Your story could save someone else's life. Bring some small movements back into your fingers and toes and gently open your eyes. I'll see you back here for the fourth and final part of the Healing Trauma Through Natural Elements series, where we'll be processing the earth stage of healing. Thank you so much for meditating with me today. I'd love to know how this went for you, so please leave me a message and let me know if there are any meditation requests you have that you think would be helpful for you. Take care.